The story starts with my father, who's very interested in early cars, always interested in early cars, and I restored 10 years ago, restored a Bugatti, a Type 35 Bugatti Grand Prix car. Really enjoyed restoring the car, it was fabulous fun. And friends of mine said, what are you going to do next? And I've always wanted to restore a big engined Edwardian racing car. That's my passion. And a friend of mine is a Fiat enthusiast, a friend of mine in the UK is a Fiat enthusiast, he said there's only one car that you need to find and restore, and that's the Fiat S76. It was a passion that I had from a child because my father had a book of lots of early racing cars, and in the book was a picture of the Fiat S76, and it was the most bizarre looking car. It looked like an airship on wheels, and as a small child I was fascinated by this car. Fiat built two Fiat S76s in 1911. There was the one they sold to a Russian, it went to Russia at the end of 1911, beginning of 1912, and the other car they kept in Turin. And the Russian guy who bought the car, he kept it, broke the land speed record in 1913. It survived till after the First World War, but like a lot of Edwardian racing cars, after the First War, it was transformed into a smaller, lighter racing car. So the chassis and the axles and all the components of the car survived, but without the engine. There were 4 enthusiasts who owned the car between 1954 and 2002, when I bought the car. In 1908, Grand Prix racing finished, and for a small period of time there were no rules. Anything would go. And Fiat were the best car manufacturer in the world. They built the best cars in the world, and Fiat's big competitor was a company called Benz that then later became Mercedes-Benz. And Benz and Fiat had a competition to build the fastest car. And they thought to go fast you put a big engine in, to go fast you put an even bigger engine in, and it got like a competition to be the fastest car, you put a bigger and bigger engine. It was like 2 small boys peeing up the wall in a schoolyard competition. Fiat designed the S76, which is 28 litres, 28,000 cc, this car. So it was the end of a line. It was the end of a line. I was always very enthusiastic about the restoration car, and there was having all the components was great, but all the components needed a huge amount of work, and it took 2.5 years to make the gearbox, and then it took another 2.5 years to make the body, and overall it took me 12 years to finish the restoration of the car. When I started, I thought it would take me 3 or 4 years at the most, and it just was much more complicated because I became passionate about having the car correct. So it's been a journey of discovery. It's been a journey like an archaeologist, looking at photographs, looking at plans, trying to understand the minds of the Italian genius that built the car, to end up with a car that really is an authentic Fiat S76, to experience what Felice Nazaro, Pietro Bodino, these drivers who were the works drivers. Felice Nazaro was a hero of Italy in 1910, 1911. To experience what he experienced when he drove the car on the Montanisa to Susa Road outside Turin, going north that road, I wanted to experience what that was like. And it's been the most fabulous journey. Two weeks ago, we drove to the Festival of Speed. Festival of Speed is a fantastic event where I met Lapu Elkan, who was the most enthusiastic passenger. So I met Lapu there, and on the way there I drove on the road on the autoroute, and the fastest went was 92 miles an hour. The car was very smooth, beautifully smooth, fabulously controllable, so it was great.